Rasasi Hawas versus Rasasi Hawas Ice. Let's talk about it. Hello. My name is Nixon Dias and you are watching Smelly Cat. Today we compare the oh so popular Rasasi Hawas with the oh so new Rasasi Hawas Ice. To simplify it and keep this video short, I'm just going to answer a few questions that you may have about these scents. If you want a more detailed review about Rasasi Hawas Ice, then I've already uploaded that video. I'll pin it in the comments and I'll also put it in the description. So without further ado, let's move on to the video. Actually, you know what? With some further ado, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would suggest subscribing now if you want comparisons like that, detailed reviews on the scents, lists, then do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done it yet, and also like it, hit that bell icon, and let's put a target to this and let's aim for 4,000 likes. Yeah, not too much, right? I think it's achievable. 4,000 likes on this video, and yeah, I'll be happy. All right, now without further ado, finally let's move on to the comparison of these two. First of all, and I've mentioned it in the main video as well, these two are pretty similar to each other, with, you could say, this one being more of a modern take on this DNA, with a bit of changes here and there. Still smells a lot like a 2016, 2017 release, by which I mean that it smells a whole lot like Invictus. Now the first question, which one has the better opening? For me, it's Hawas Ice. That minty freshness in this one really works. I wish it had more of that in it. It's got much more citrus, it feels a lot fruitier, and for me it's the best part of the fragrance. Which one has a better dry down? For me it is Hawas. Now the differences are a little more evident between the two in the dry down. Hawas Ice is a lot, you could say, sweeter, with that tonka especially standing out. But the dry down in Hawas Ice isn't anything unique. It's like a lot of designer scent dry downs, especially with releases that happened the last 4 or 5 years. So think of the dry down of scents like JPG Scandal, or even Zaro Wanted, which is a lot like Invictus. That tonka sweetness in the dry down is what you'll get with Hawas Ice. Which one has better longevity? Which one lasts longer? Now I really wanted it to be a Hawas Ice, but for me it is Hawas. It's touch and go, it's very close, and I must remind people that this is an older batch according to what people say. I really don't know for reformulation, I keep saying that, but this older batch of Hawas is slightly longer lasting compared to the new one. But here's the thing, the better projection is with Hawas Ice. At least in the first 2 hours, that initial blast is there and it's louder than a fire alarm, but then it sort of dips, and I would say Hawas is a little more steady when it comes to its performance, while this is really strong at the start and then it slowly takes a dip. Which one is more synthetic? I would have to say it's Hawas. Hawas Ice is still synthetic, I won't say it's not, but Hawas Ice is slightly better blended than this one, and it's only slightly lesser when you compare them side by side. Which one smells more expensive? I would say it has to be Hawas Ice, although I do feel that even Hawas is slightly overpriced, or at least available at a higher price with a lot of sellers compared to here in the UAE. I do feel that it's not worth the price that a lot of people are selling at. I believe that people are still buying Hawas at like $60 or 5,000 rupees in India, and for Hawas Ice, people I've seen are paying around $90, around 6,000 for this one, which I think is just a bunch of greedy sellers trying to make money first. I know there's a lot of logistics with getting a fragrance, bringing it to our country and all of that, but I do believe that prices can be brought down even more. You'll notice there is no link to buy them in my description, or I've not pinned a link in the comments saying, find yours over here, and that's why I can say these things without a worry. I would say don't pay more than $45 or 4,000 rupees for Hawas, and not more than $55 or 4,500 rupees for this one. I remember buying Rasasi Hawas for around 130 dirhams, which is roughly $35. And I bought this one for 175 dirhams from their store, which is, I would say, roughly $47. Now, unless you're planning to make a video on this one, please don't pay $90 for this. Which one's gonna give you more compliments? You know what? The answer is both. I'm not gonna lie. Both of them are very likable scents, although they are boring scents now in 2023. They are, you know, it's got that. It's got a very likable, lovable DNA, and it's simple. It's like a no fuss kind of scent. It's not overpowering. It's not strong on any note. It's not super creative. It's in a safe space, and people like that. And this is coming especially from a reviewer who doesn't get too many compliments. You know, like most reviewers, you know, they have a most complimented list like every week. I don't know, you see my channel, you'll find maybe 1 or 2 in the last 3 years. I do make very little content compared to them, but just to put it into context, I don't get too many compliments, but this is that kind of DNA that will get compliment if you are someone who gets compliments. Alright, to summarize it, so you can make your decision whether you want to buy it or not, they are very alike and they both have that boring DNA. Rasasi Hawas is better buy at the price, has better longevity, is still very likable, but is also slightly more synthetic. Hawas Ice, on the other hand, has a better opening, feels slightly more modern, is less synthetic, is a bit sweeter, has better projection, and is a little more intense initially, you could say. It's also extremely overpriced right now. Don't buy, wait for the hype to die, and the prices will go down. Have I answered all your questions? If I haven't, leave a comment, ask me and I'll try my best to answer them. If I have, hey, now's the best time to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon if you haven't done it yet. And until next time, keep smelling amazing.